And
Right.
that's the other thing, of course, to realize is that the idea that there is a left and a right and that everybody is sort of has to make a choice between one or the other is not something that sort of appeared with, the founding fathers. I hate that term, but we'll use it since we all know what we're talking about.
Sure.
Um, it's something that really has only existed, for the last 100 years,
Hmm.
and even then, more like the last 60 or 70. It's kind of a post World War II phenomenon, and
Mm.
barely was in the popular lexicon at all before the Russian Revolution. I mean, the terms originated from the French Revolution and were
Mm.
literally the left and right side of an aisle, of the royalists, the people who thought that the monarch should have some sort of legislative veto, and the people who didn't. So it was
Hmm.
used in that context,
Mm.
but it wasn't used in an American context for the first 150 years or so of
Mm.
our history.
Mm. Interesting.
So
Interesting.
no one would have known what you were talking about in 1880 if you were like, "Are you on the left or the right?" You know, there was
Right.
there was certainly the Democrats and the Republicans,
Uh-huh.
but even then, I think it was much more common to support the Democrats on this issue and the Republicans on that issue, and not
Right.
necessarily feel that you have to make a choice. Right?
Yeah, totally. And it's interesting because, some people might hear this and say, well, you're just hiding from really taking a definitive stance on things. And that's not it at all. It's more you're saying, let's separate, take issue by issue as opposed to lump them all together. And, there's all this pressure, this social pressure to take a very specific stance on very specific things, particularly hot button issues. And of course, during the pandemic, that just was like exponentially amplified to a degree that I haven't seen it in my lifetime before. And it was really, really intense. But yeah, I mean, it really speaks to just how when you start really unraveling this stuff, it becomes painfully obvious just how ridiculous it is. Although there's nothing wrong with it's a beautiful thing to have values. It's a beautiful
It's
thing to
essential.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And this is very specifically not saying that at all. I think it's very important to treat people decently. I think it's very important to move through the world in a way that, you have some modicum of integrity and being decent toward other and being a positive contribution to society. But that differs from person to person, and that's okay.